Dark Knight Rises, the most universally beloved Batman film of all time.
You're dumb. You made a serious mistake.
Whether you love the film, hate the film, or most likely felt meh about it, you have to admit that Dark Knight Rises was facing an uphill battle from the very beginning. Not only did it have the misfortune of following maybe the greatest superhero film of all time, but it faced an even tougher challenge of delivering a compelling story while also bringing the entire trilogy to a satisfying close.
Impossible.
Having character arcs, plots, and themes all come full circle, some of which include Batman and Gordon facing the consequences of their decision to conceal the truth about Harvey Dent, bringing closure to Alfred's lie regarding Rachel's letter, Bruce finally finding happiness in a life post-Batman, and lastly, choosing someone worthy enough to be the next Batman.
Well, here I am.
No, not you. You know, the guy who went to high school with the Joker. Yeah, that's him, John Blake, the bright-eyed rookie cop who by film's end will be personally chosen by Bruce Wayne to become the next Batman. But who is he? Where did he come from? Luckily, the film pauses for 2 minutes so we can get a full monologue about his life story. John reveals that he grew up in an orphanage after his parents died when he was very young, his mother in a car crash, and his father murdered for a gambling debt. Boy, this is a lot of information for two people who just met. One day, Bruce Wayne paid a visit to the orphanage, and in this one visit, the boy was able to uncover the identity of Batman. Because, well, I'll just have him explain it to you.
I figured it out too late. You gotta learn to hide the anger. Practice smiling in the mirror. Right when I saw you, I knew who you really were. I'd seen that look on your face before. It's the same one I taught myself.
I have no idea how he connected those dots. If you remember, Batman's identity was discovered once before in The Dark Knight by Coleman Reese, whose audit of Wayne Enterprises led him to the blueprint of the Batmobile. That makes sense. This feels rushed. Part of the problem here is that when Christopher Nolan created Batman Begins, there was no promise from Warner Bros. There would be a second film, let alone a third. Because for some reason, after 1997, people's interest in Batman was at an all-time low.
I want a car. Chicks dig the car.
This is why Superman works alone.
Oh, right. Now I remember. All I have to say is, it must have been really cold in the Batcave. Those babies could cut diamonds.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Because of this, Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy was never conceptualized as a whole. Each film was created in a vacuum, and then the third had to somehow bring it all together.
So easy. So simple.
So Dark Knight Rises had a lot of heavy lifting to do, which translates to a ton of exposition. Yay.
Pure evil.
I'm necessary evil.
First, they had to introduce the villains of the story, Bane, Talia, and Daggett, give them backstories and an evil plot to destroy Gotham, yada yada yada.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
Secondly, they had to create characters so the entire Batman Bruce Wayne character arc could come to a satisfying conclusion. Catwoman for Bruce to finally find happiness and a reason to live, and lastly, John Blake as Batman's successor. If these films had been outlined as a trilogy, then these characters would have already been introduced in the previous two films, and Rises would just be the culmination of their stories. And for John Blake, they didn't need to shoehorn yet another new character into an already convoluted plot. And that's because the character who should have been John Blake was already right there from the very beginning. The character I'm talking about is the boy from Batman Begins, and also everyone's favorite character from Game of Thrones. You might remember in Batman Begins, when Batman is investigating a drug smuggling operation in the Narrows, he is spotted by this little boy.
It's you, isn't it? Everybody's been talking about you.
This should be the character who grows up to be John Blake in The Dark Knight Rises. Except in this version, when he arrives at Wayne Manor, instead of the fake smile story, he would tell Bruce about that one night Batman showed up on his balcony and changed his life forever. And how from that moment on, he wanted to be just like him, even trying to solve crimes in his neighborhood using that X-ray gadget Batman tossed him. And as soon as he was old enough, he joined the Gotham PD. Here's the part where you might be wondering, in this version, how does the boy know Batman's identity? And this is where it gets even better. In the climax of Batman Begins, Rachel and the boy find themselves completely surrounded.
Batman will save us. You come.
When Batman swoops in to save them just like the boy predicted. And once they're safely placed on the rooftops, the boy overhears this conversation.
Wait. You could die. At least tell me your name.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Bruce?
Rachel says his name right in front of the boy. I can't make this stuff up.
Beautiful, isn't it?
But how does the boy know Bruce means Bruce Wayne? Well, there's a number of ways we could go with this. Maybe he does some light detective work, discovering Rachel's childhood best friend was Bruce Wayne. Or he just assumes the most famous Bruce in Gotham could afford all the fancy toys that Batman uses. Or maybe, and my favorite explanation, is that the X-ray gadget that Batman tossed him is a product from Wayne Enterprises. At first, the boy thinks nothing of it. There are thousands of products made by Wayne Enterprises. But after he hears Rachel call him Bruce, that's when it all comes together. You don't even need Edward Nygma to solve this one.
Who is Batman?
But the boy keeps his secret, never telling a soul he knows who Batman is, until now when Gotham needs him. And if that isn't enough to convince Bruce to take up the fight again, Blake leaves him with the words he heard up on the rooftop that night.
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
And it's Rachel's words that convince Bruce to get back on the horse. This could make the trilogy come full circle. Batman inspired this young boy, who in turn inspired him when he needed it most. Then the choice of who should take over Batman is not just obvious, it's inevitable. If Nolan would have done this, it probably would have been the best film in the trilogy. Okay, probably not, but it does get way more criticism than it deserves.
Not everybody agrees.
I'll figure that out in the end.
I'm not sure I feel as strongly about it as you do.
If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're a real superhero, hit that subscribe button. Ain't that right, Batman?
Yep, that's right. So that's what that feels like.
Please, leave me in peace. Please go. Stop smiling. It's not a joke. Please leave. The party's over. Get out.